So we have this ability to go to a seller on a property and say, hey, my client would really like to purchase your home. So let's talk about the seller concession, because a lot of folks are trying to do the math here. Okay, let's say I qualify for the 500 down. Now I've got closing costs, right? Those closing costs, and you just mentioned it, right? Seller concessions. So we have this ability to go to a seller on a property and say, hey, my client would really like to purchase your home. We're not going to necessarily negotiate, or we might, price, but first and foremost, closing costs. We want you as the seller to help our buyer pay for the closing costs. That's totally doable, right? They can't help with the down, but they can help in other areas.
And depending on the program, there's a certain percentage that they can contribute, right? So that, and again, this goes back to the point of getting with us early, right? What benefits the client more? What benefits you more when you're buying a home? You need to look at the transaction holistically, right? Oh, we can do this and get you the best price. Well, maybe that doesn't result in the best payment for you on a monthly basis.
About the sooner the better, because we're going to position you in the best light, specifically for what we're going to get to on earnest money, right? So if if you want to minimize out of pocket, yes, earnest money, you're telling the seller, hey, I'm a highly interested buyer in your home. Sometimes when you minimize that earnest money, the perception can be, hey, you don't seem so serious because you're not putting up a lot of money. But what folks need to understand is they're typically more interested in how qualified you are with your lender with the ability to buy than they are about your good faith. They'd love to see you be able to put more money towards it, because otherwise you're kind of cutting it tight. They may or may not know why, might just be tight. But what they really want from me as your buyer's agent is to tell them how long that you as the buyer been working with the lender, that you've got their documents, you've got their statements, you got their work verifications in. Like, that's what they want to know, that you're not just window shopping and throwing offers around. So I, as your representative, will plead the case that, hey, you as the buyer, been working with this lender for quite some time. Yes, they're not putting much down, but look at this pre-qual letter or pre-approval letter, even better.
Yeah.